Hello everyone. Today I'm here with Sebastian, Xixo Bentert, a Hearthstone player from Germany. Everybody knows him. He's one of the greatest players in the Hearthstone scene. He is a foreign player for Navi, currently teamless. We are sure that won't be the case for much longer. So, hello Sebastian, how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. So, I had a small introduction about you, but could you tell me a bit more about yourself?
Yes, I'm Xixo. I've been playing Hearthstone for almost 4 years now, I think. I played for Navi the past year, and currently we try to find a new team. That's me, Oskarka, Surrender, and Toy.
Oh, so you're still together as a team, searching as a team?
Yes, like we're currently considering offers and stuff, and we have nothing finalized. Like I told all my players that if they get an offer that's just for them and that's too good to not take, they are free to take it, but everyone wants to stay together, and that's the current plan.
That's awesome to hear. That's really nice. So, does your BattleTag have any special meaning or significance? How did you come up with it?
So the first game I played was Silk Road Online, and I just like typed Sorrow as BattleTag because that was like this One Piece character. But then when I played World of Warcraft, every name I tried to take was like already taken. So I went through like the guild list of my Silk Road clan or like guild, and, like tried every name, and there was one guy who was called Xixo. It wasn't taken in on my World of Warcraft server, so I just went with it since.
All right, quite a story. So, how did you pick up Hearthstone as well, and what do you like most about it?
So I've been playing like esports games, mainly StarCraft and League of Legends for a long time now. But I was never quite at the top. I was decent, but like nothing special. But then I tried Hearthstone, was doing decently, tried playing Constructed, and 2 days later I got Legend. So I figured I'm not that bad at the game, so I want to give it a try.
And then you also rust the legend every season.
Yes, like back then there were not that many tournaments, and the tournaments that we had were like all invitationals. So I had to play stuff that I could play because I was invited to the tournaments, and that is free for everyone. So ladder challenges, everyone could join.
Awesome. So, how do you approach this season, and what strategies do you use to climb your way to the top of the rankings, get legend, etc.?
Well, usually you don't want to be stuck too long on low rank, so you play faster decks. But in general, the main reason you play faster decks is because in the history of Hearthstone, faster decks have usually been better. Like you can also climb with control decks if they would be good, but they are not. So you just play Face Shaman.
Yeah, that's the way. Faces the place. So you prefer playing aggro decks? What style of decks do you prefer playing generally?
The very first season, I did the speed runs, which was the first non-test season, like start of last year or whatever, no, 2 years ago. But in that season, I climbed from rank 25 to legend on one day with Control Warrior. And back then, Control Warrior was good, so I enjoyed that. But I don't really have a style. I just prefer decks that win because I don't really enjoy losing. So yeah, in the past like 2 years, it's mainly been aggressive decks that win games.
I see. Do you enjoy the current meta?
I think that the meta is not good, but I think people might be saying it's worse than it actually is. The main issue with it is that it's been going on for too long because like Karazhan didn't really change things up. So like the decks we have being popular right now are the same decks we've already been playing for like a year or so. So I think we need a change up.
I see. So you're in charge of making some changes in Hearthstone. What would you change?
No, it's a tough one. Let's think. Because the obvious changes was like nerfing York or Tusker, but I think the main um, point that needs to change is the frequency of which the meta changes. So I think we need more like risky cards. Like Blizzard can print more risky cards if they are able to fix them. Like for example, York was a pretty risky card, didn't really work out. Like people don't really like York One, so I can change it. But I like that they print cards like that to like bring something fresh because we don't want to have the same vanilla minions all the time. So yeah, I think the main difference we need is just a more frequent change of paste.
So you want that change to come with more cards, more expansion, more frequent expansions, or with balance changes every now and then?
So balance changes have the issue that they might be annoying for newer players. Like people make fun of newer players because Bentert likes to have that argument a lot. But I think there is a point that they have that changing cards too frequently wouldn't be great. but I do think that some cards could be changed more often, and I think that we need less bad cards and expansions, because like 80% of the cards you look at that get released, you just know they will never see competitive play. So I think we just need more good cards.
I see, I totally agree on that. So to talk about the tournament scene, the past couple of months you have been considered as one of the top players and favorites to win every tournament you participate in, more so. So how does it feel when people have even more expectations for you? Does it make you anxious about performing?
No, it's like I can only do so much. Like in every card game, I'm not like making fun of Hearthstone now. In every card game, you can't rely on winning. Like you can't plan on winning. You always know there's a chance you lose. So I try to do my best, and I've been doing the same for 3 years now. Like I don't really care too much if people expect me to win. It's nice to know that they have some faith in me, but I've always tried to play my best.
Great. And Navi, as we already said, recently dropped their entire roster, including yourself. How did this come to you? Was it a surprise or something you expected?
It's been kind of a surprise, but their reasoning was just because the other games they have, like Dota and CS:GO, have huge tournaments. So like people really get hyped for run by the organizers of or like the publisher of the game. We have the international in Dota, we have the CS:GO majors, and we don't really have that in Hearthstone. Like we have a lot of private tournaments in Hearthstone, and we have the BlizzCon, but nothing really matches the hype level and like the expectations of tournaments that the other games have. So yeah, they just felt like Hearthstone tournaments are kind of disappointing and didn't want to go with that for the following year.
Actually, about BlizzCon, do you actually prefer this year's BlizzCon rather than last year's and the whole tournament format?
So I don't really like prelims because we need a way for everyone to participate, because the World Championship, you shouldn't get there just because you're famous. So, but the way prelims are handled, I don't really like it, because there's like a lot of different venues. Every venue has like a different setup, and I know that some venues are just like have too many players for the admins to check. I know that there have been players who just like played with 2 or 3 people on one PC during the tournament, and I don't blame the admins, because like Blizzard basically gives the same support for every venue, no matter if there's like 2 or 3 people or 30 people playing from there. So they've had a rough time. Also, playing from a bar is not like the best scenario to play Hearthstone in a like very competitive
Of course.
setup. You want to be able to focus and have like a quiet room to play from.
Definitely. And what are your Hearthstone goals for this year and maybe the first months of the upcoming year?
Well, I've won a big tournament this year. I can't make BlizzCon anymore this year, so it's like there's nothing big I can win for now. So it will just be to perform as I performed the past months, and hope to like maybe get another 1 or 2 tournament wins.
Are you going to DreamHack Winter?
We didn't book it yet because the DreamHacks are also very crowded, and it sometimes feels like it's too crowded and takes too long to play the best Hearthstone you can. So yeah, it's not like the tournament we are really looking forward to, just because we prefer to play the best, and we can't guarantee to like play to our abilities at those setups, but we will probably go. But we are currently deciding as a team if we want to go there or not.
I see. We'd love to see you there. So do you have any advice or thoughts you'd like to share with your fans or other aspiring competitive players that want to be like you?
Well, like I think since a lot of people ask, like it's always a question how to prepare for tournaments and stuff, and like what to do. I think the most important part is to trust your feelings about a matchup. Like don't go to any site, look the win percentage for a matchup and just trust it. Play the decks, and then when you make your lineup for a tournament, you just play the decks that are good against what you expect people to play. But yeah, you should trust your own feelings on matchups.
I see. Okay, so let's say you're a castaway in a remote, isolated island, and you have to choose one Hearthstone personality to help you survive. Who would it be?
Definitely Stan Sivka. He always knows where to get food.
Really?
Like you just need to watch him play at any tournament. He always has bananas there. Like he always gets them somehow.
That's quite nice. He would be totally useful. Okay, I think we can wrap it up. Do you have any final shoutouts?
Yeah, shout outs to you for having me, and to my teammates Surrender, Skaka, and Hoy for like really being supportive and being productive and searching for a new team together.
The honor is all mine. Thank you for having this interview with me. Thank you everyone for watching. You can all follow Xixo on Twitter at Xixo. I have it written right here. So please drop him a follow. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.